Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. My name is Chris. I'm here with Brian,
What's going on?
Jake,
Hey guys.
and Jeremy.
How's it going?
Xbox Series X has shown us a lot of stuff, but PS5 has been kind of shy up until just a couple hours ago, and they released a blog post which gave us some details on the PlayStation 5 controller. We know what it looks like. We know what the standard one is going to look like, and I think we should definitely be talking about it. They listed some features that we're going to go over. We're going to talk, the good, the bad, and the ugly on how we feel about this. But before we get into it, we are not doing a giveaway. We just finished a giveaway, so thank you for helping us hit that sub goal. There will be updates on the community page as we find a winner for Risk of Rain 2, but we will be doing more giveaways, so if you love us, sub us, and if you like the video, please throw us a like. Alright, so I'm just going to do a super quick recap of the features, because there's going to be an image on screen for you guys to look at. This is what the controller looks like. It has a built-in mic. That's a core change. They added haptic feedback in the triggers, which is supposed to, the example they use is simulate pulling a bow, I guess. And they removed the share button, and they didn't really remove it. They just changed the name of it. It's the same button. And it looks like they kind of shaped things to be a bit closer to the Xbox controller, with the exception of the joysticks still being parallel as opposed to kind of diagonal from each other. So I thought it'd be a good idea, for the sake of positivity, to let's talk positives first. What do we like about this controller, especially going from the DualShock 4 controller? What are the good things?
Really big picture for me as someone who had a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, and a PlayStation 3, and has used the PlayStation 4 controller a few times. The PlayStation controller has, in my opinion, always been pretty good, and they haven't really changed it very much, and that's okay. I don't think it's as good as the Xbox One controller, for instance. But it's a pretty good controller already, and they haven't changed the fundamentals here, so big picture, if you're interested in a PlayStation 5, this should still be a totally serviceable, comfortable, functional controller. It's not like a fucking N64 controller or something.
Yeah, I like that the shape is closer to the Xbox controller. I've used pretty much all of the controllers since forever, but the Xbox controllers I think have always been the best. The shape is just perfect they're the most comfortable. But I really like the haptic feedback on the triggers. It sounds very interesting. The bow thing that they're marketing sounds kind of cheesy, but if you're playing a racing game, and your brake and your gas to both your triggers, that sounds, that could be a cool addition, because you got a little more feedback, a little more that you can do with the controller with that addition.
I feel like with the bow thing, they just didn't want to say that it simulates what it feels like to pull the trigger of an assault rifle. They just wanted to stay with something a little more toned down.
They could have gone with the racing route and be your left, it's just the clutch and the brake, the brake and the accelerator feel different. I think
they already used the racing analogy for something else in the
Well, they should have just moved that one down and then
Yeah.
They need better writers.
But yeah, that's what it's for. It's so you can get the sniper rifle has the nice easy trigger pull, and you can feel it kind of click 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 when you shoot.
Yeah, what it's for is when you hold it down, it pushes back on you and you get that rush,
That rush.
Yeah, man.
I'll just say that I like that it's moving in the direction of the 360 or the Xbox lineage of controllers. That seems to be a unified design that everyone's shifting towards. That's really my biggest positive, aside from I am a big fan of having the mic just built into the controller. Then everyone has a mic. There's no excuse anymore. You have a mic, and the Oculus Quest has a mic built in, and I just love it. You don't even have to think about it. If somebody talks to you, you can just talk right back, or you can turn it off. No big deal. And the last thing I like is that it's USB-C.
Hell yeah.
I don't like USB-C.
Yeah, fuck that.
What do you like about
Universal
the
form
controller,
factors are
though?
for bitches.
I think that the feedback mechanism thing is really interesting.
Yeah,
And it seems like they're talking a lot about haptic feedback, and like when anybody puts like actual work into that, the results are usually not that bad, so it's probably pretty nice.
So yeah, 3 of us have Switches, so we've all, or at least 3 of us have experienced HD Rumble, which kind of pleasantly has surprised me. I guess I'm, like Brian said, like when they do it right, it is nice. I guess I'm just curious at how often it will be implemented.
Yeah, as I think about it more, I can think of more and more applications. And not to like bring us into a Death Stranding discussion here, but a lot of that game was balancing packages, obviously, and that involved pulling the left and right trigger. And I could like that would be a perfect application for haptic feedback. Is the more you have to balance yourself, the harder it is to pull the trigger. Like I can see so many possibilities with that. So the more that I think about that feature, it's really exciting me.
All right. I think we might be good on the positives, maybe. I guess let's open it up to not necessarily negatives, but more open.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, constructive criticism, open-minded thoughts. I mean, I think overall, like we kind of, someone kicked it off and said it's not by any means, Jeremy, you said this, it's not a bad controller. It will definitely be serviceable. Like it's, at least, it could have been a lot worse. Like it could have been a Wiimote, you know? Could have been like fucking PlayStation Move controllers.
If you like PlayStation, you'll be happy with this. It's fine.
Yeah, and we can discuss the aesthetics and stuff, but there will be tons of color options as time goes on. Actually, the colors make me really curious what the actual box is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just say, my kind of biggest pet peeves about this, I have no idea why that touch bar is still there, with the exception of for backwards compatibility, but like, come on. Like, that thing is useless and trash. And it's just a terrible idea to have. It just adds to the cost of the controller. And I kind of wish that there were paddles. That's kind of a trend that Microsoft is picking up, and some more of the premium controllers, they have paddles for your ring and middle fingers to kind of touch as additional inputs. And Sony released an official PlayStation 4 paddle add-on just like a month ago. So it seems like that might be something that would be happening. And it clearly is not the case. Those are my two biggest whys on this. Not sure if anyone else has. I know that we have more thoughts. So.
Yeah, on a more neutral note, you mentioned that you like the addition of the microphone. I like the idea that everyone has one, but it's going to be hard to implement that, because all I can think of is just hearing people mashing buttons during a game while they try and talk. I've played games with people on Xbox while I'm on PC, and it's never a great experience because we all have dedicated mics on our PCs, and they have low-end, cheap, Xbox microphones. So I can just see that if they don't back this with a lot of good software, you're just going to be picking up a lot of room noise, a lot of controller noise, and it's going to be a miserable experience as people hop into lobbies and troll you while they mash their buttons on their PS5 controller.
On the other hand, if you're a troll, good potential opportunity there.
Best controller to get if you're a troll.
I just, the last thing I will say on the mic, and this might open up a whole can of worms. It's never a good idea. While it is nice that everyone has a mic now, I will say it's bad that there is now a mic that is in your room that you maybe didn't necessarily want. Like, maybe you are a single player PlayStation fan, and now there's just a mic sitting wherever, not
now
to get
Sony
all Big Brother, but
just like everyone else.
Yeah. At least with the Xbox, last gen controllers, when you unplug the mic, it ain't listening.
It's all done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the design looks like a line drawing of a stormtrooper's crotch, and now that I've seen that, I can't unsee it. I really don't like the tendency towards a straight-sided controller. I think a lot of the appeal of the PlayStation controller line is that like the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 controllers were all like geometrically, they were basically the same. They were different buttons and they did different things, but like the experience of holding the thing was pretty much the same. And it, you know, I'm not a fan of having both sticks down low like that. I like having the kind of angled arrangement that the Xbox has, but I've also never owned a PlayStation, so I'm sure I'd be more amenable to it if I had actually spent some time with it. But like, you know, why not? Instead of like the touchpad thing, it's just dumb. I agree with you on that, Chris. Like it's not a feature that makes like the experience. It's like just come out with a decent controller that's comfortable to hold, because we're moving towards that union. Like the Xbox and this, the difference is where the stick's located. They all have the same number of buttons. Like the buttons all pretty much do the same thing. It's like there's some trick features, but the good controllers from the past weren't good because they had trick features. Well, I mean, there's arguments there, but like the one that came with the console, the good ones weren't good because they had a lot of different shit that they could do. They were good because they were comfortable to hold and they made sense. So just, you know, who cares if that ends up with you making a controller that looks exactly like the other guy's controller? Like, if they're both comfortable to hold, your people will buy your brand, their people will buy their brand, everybody goes home.
Yeah, but now you have a create button, so you can share all of your great gaming experiences at the touch of a button.
You can share your heated gamer moments with the whole world.
Yeah, sure.
I do like that they said, like, we got rid of the share button, but don't worry, we added it right back in.
Yeah.
Like, it was gone for 3 words.
To add on a little more to what Brian was saying, a bit of an echo here, I would agree that in general, I think there's a lot of additions, like the big-ass touch button and then the PS5 controller that you really don't need. The controller is really just a means to play a game. Like, I'm not going out to buy a controller for features. I just want one that works well. I would have much rather seen like paddles added instead of a create button and a big touch button in the middle. So overall, I really like the controller that they're adding, but also there's a lot of features on there that just make them expensive. Like, I'm not a fan of the like $100+ controllers. It's too much.
All right. Do we have anything else to add? Do we want to draw any comparisons to the Xbox Series X controller, which is a much more conservative take on updating, or are we pretty satisfied on this?
I mean, Brian basically touched on this, but I would just like to reiterate, at least from my perspective, it is not aesthetically pleasing. It really looks like a stormtrooper.
From like a low angle looking up between the legs.
Yeah,
And the worst part is that when you use the touch control, what part are you touching? What are you rubbing on?
Makes
you think.
I'm worried about what the box is going to look like now.
Yeah, it's gonna look like
The top half of the stormtrooper.
It's gonna look very 2005 in my opinion. Like, it just whenever you go with such a strong aesthetic like they are, like you're almost like condemning yourself to look dated in the pretty near future. I don't know.
And like, I guess like I'm being a little hypocritical because I like literally looked down at the new PC case I bought, and it is white and black with a blue like light on it for the power and stuff. And but that's different because that was like a conscious aesthetic choice. Like, that's not what the Dell Optiplex in your office looks like. Like, that was a personal choice that I made, you know.
I mean, my computer looks exactly like the Dell Optiplex in my.
Yeah, Jeremy mentioned this before we started, but white controllers get nasty.
They get
like,
nasty.
I have old 360 controllers that are like currently white and yellow, and they're nasty to look at. So I don't know. Black's just a better choice.
And PlayStation has been black since the PlayStation 2, since 2001 or 2002, whenever that came out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't go with the '90s gray color on. That would have been kind
Honestly,
of
that would have been better. That would have been kind of cool.
Like two-tone gray, that would have been kind of neat. You know how they had the darker gray on the buttons and the joysticks?
Oh, I know.
That
Yeah,
would have been
nice
cool.
resale value.
That's going to be the special edition.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
All right. Well, I think we're good. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what should our PlayStation fans be doing right about now, Brian?
Well, if the PlayStation fans are just anxiously deciding what color they want their Stormtrooper to be, you can go ahead and hammer your thoughts on that down in the word box. And like Chris said at the beginning of the video, we aren't doing a giveaway this time around, but we do have tons more coming up on the horizon, so you got to be subbed to win one of those. So go ahead and click that subscribe button if you watch this far in the video. You know you probably liked it, and we do have a veritable shit ton more content like this right here on the Cohesive Friendship Unit channel. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Brian. We'll catch you guys next time.